Good morning, children. Today I will be teaching you about microorganisms. Now, microorganisms, this seems to be very new to you, but you all are very much familiar with this because now that you are enjoying your holidays or whatever you're not enjoying, you are staying at home, all because of what? Because of some microorganisms. Which is that microorganism? A virus. What is the name of that microorganism? COVID-19. So today in this chapter, I will be teaching you about different types of microorganisms. Now to start with, first I would like to tell you about what are microorganisms. What are microorganisms? Now, micro means very, very small. Organisms means any living things. So very, very small living organisms that we cannot see with our naked eyes. Normally with your hands you cannot see. Those organisms are called microorganisms. You can see a large number of living organisms around you. But do you know there are larger number of living organisms around you and inside your body that you cannot see with your naked eyes. We can see many organisms like dogs, cows, so many things we are seeing, but there are much more larger amount of living organisms that we cannot see with our naked eyes, which is present inside our body, which is present in the air, which is present in the water, everywhere. These organisms are so small that they can only be seen through a microscope. And these organisms are called what? Microorganisms. What are microorganisms? Organisms that cannot be seen with our naked eyes but can only be seen with the help of microscope is called microorganisms. The study of microorganism is called microbiology. So the scientists who study microorganisms, they are called microbiologists. Where are microbes found? Most microorganisms are hardy and can be found in almost any kind of environment. They are found in the hottest desert. Desert, you know, it's very, very hot. But in that hot deserts also you can find microorganisms. And in very cold area like the icy polar regions, frozen, very, very cold. But still there you can find these microorganisms. They are also found in the cracks in the sea floor. If you go very deep under the sea, there are cracks present. Inside those cracks also, microorganisms are present. In volcanic eruptions also, microorganisms can survive in the volcanic eruptions. They are found in marshland, salt water, that is in the sea water. Marshy land means where there is marshy areas, little watery type of areas where lots of algae also you can see. They are also found inside your body. You don't know that so many different types of microorganisms are present inside your body that we cannot see, but it is already there present in your body. Some are useful, some are harmful. Those which are harmful that causes disease among us, those which are useful that helps in our proper functioning of our body. Microorganisms are hardy. Why? Because they form a hard covering called cyst around themselves. So these microorganisms, they have a hard covering around their body. This covering is called a cyst, and because of this covering, they can protect themselves in very adverse condition like in the volcanic eruption, marshland, inside the water, cold, desert, very cold area, everywhere they are surviving. Why? Because of the presence of a hard covering which is called the cyst. Now next comes different types of microorganisms. Basically there are 5 major groups of microorganisms. What are they? Bacteria, algae, protozoa, fungi, viruses. Now in the coming up following this whatever slides are coming, I will tell you in details about all these different types of microorganisms. First let's start with bacteria. Now, bacteria are single-celled organisms that can be found almost everywhere. Bacteria is present in the air, it is present in the water, it is present in the soil, it is present inside your body, and many, not only in our body, in many other microorganisms also, many other organisms like cow, dog, inside their bodies also these microorganisms are present. Nearly 250 crore bacteria are present in 1 gram of soil. If you just take one pinch, that is around 1 gram of soil, in that 1 gram of soil, 250 crore bacteria can be present. So can you imagine how much small these bacteria are? Yes, they are very, very small. That's why we cannot see with our naked eyes. We have to see the bacteria under the microscope. Now, once you come to school, we will try to show you some of the bacteria under the microscope when we will go to the lab. Each bacterial cell can exist singly, but sometimes they cling together to form chains or groups. Usually they can stay single bacteria, or sometimes they can join one after another. They will join together and form chains of bacteria. So it depends. Types of bacteria. There are 3 different types of bacteria. Rod shaped. You can see the first on the top, which is in red colored. Those are called the bacilli. The shape is rod shaped. Then comes a spherical shape, means round, the blue ones. You can see they are rounded shape. So these are called cocci. And at the bottom, the bacteria which are present, they are called spiral shaped bacteria. And they are called spirally. So spiral shaped bacteria are called spirally, spherical shaped bacteria are called cocci, and rod shaped bacteria are called bacilli. Now, but don't think that the colors of the bacteria are like this. It is the colored. Actually, these bacteria cells, it has been colored with different types of dyes. Dyes are some colors which are put in on some specimen to color it properly so that you can see it. So these are the bacteria which are shown over here, which have been colored with some special dyes so that you can see it under the microscope. Next microorganism is algae. Algae, what are algae? Algae are plant-like organisms. They have cell walls and chlorophyll within the cells. Now, I have given you a picture over here. Can you see this? What is the color? Green in color. Why it is green in color? Because it has chlorophyll present in it. So, if a organism have chlorophyll in it, definitely what it can do? Photosynthesis. So, algae, they are not plants, but they are plant-like organisms. And because they have chlorophyll, they can do photosynthesis and they can make their own food like the plants. There can be unicellular algae. There can be multicellular algae. Algae, all of you have seen. Hindi, I think it is called kai, which you can see on the ponds, green color that is formed. That is also algae. Here, in any marshy places, there you will see the algae grows. Now, these algae do not have any roots. They do not have any stems. Neither they have any leaves. No roots, no stems, no leaves. And where do they live? They live in water like ponds, lakes, seawater. Some are found in snow and some in hot springs. These algae are found in all these places. They are also grown in moist soil. Barks of trees. You will see that during the monsoon, rainy season, when the trees are there, on the barks, these algae also grow. On rock surfaces. I have given you the picture where the algae has grown on a rock surface. So these algae are also producers because they have chlorophyll and they can make their own. Now, protozoa is another microorganism which cannot be seen with your naked eyes. It has to be seen with the help of some microscope. They are unicellular. What do you mean by unicellular? They are made up of only one cell that have animal-like characteristics. These protozoa have animal-like characteristics. Like algae, I told you they have plant-like characteristics. This protozoa, they have animal-like characteristics. Why? Because they can move from one place to another. They can capture and eat food. They live in fresh or salty water, or they can live in the soil. Some are parasites. What do you mean by parasites? That who cannot make their own food. What do? They depend on some other host organisms for their food. So they are parasites. Not all. Some are parasites that live in the bodies of other organisms. And the examples of protozoa are amoeba, giardia, and paramecium. Fungi. Fungi, most of you have seen fungi. Mushrooms, have you seen mushrooms? Yes, many of you eat also mushrooms. So mushroom, yes, it is an example of fungi. Fungi, they are also plant-like organisms that do not contain chlorophyll and okay. So algae, they are plant-like organisms but they have chlorophyll. But fungi, they are also plant-like organisms but they do not have chlorophyll. So if they do not have chlorophyll, can they make their own food? No, they cannot make their own food. So they are actually saprophytic in nature. They depend on dead and decaying organisms for their food. Now these fungi can also be unicellular. They also can be multicellular. Where are they present? They are present everywhere. They can be present in the desert. They can also be present in very, very cold regions. And algae, fungi, most of you have seen that these fungi, uh, they grow during the winter, winter, during the rainy season. You will see these fungi is growing under the trees, like mushrooms like things, they grow. So those are all the fungi. But they grow in dark, warm and moist places. It has to be, that's why I told you rainy season. In the rainy season, you will get to see a lot of fungi growing on the barks of the trees. Also near the marshy areas, you will get to see all this fungi. Now comes the deadly virus, which we are all very much troubled by this virus, isn't it? Yes. Now let's learn a little bit about virus. Viruses are very small, very, very small. Viruses are smaller than any known cell. All these cells which I was talking about, bacteria, fungi, algae, whatever, protozoa, virus is supposed to be the smallest. And they are not even seen by the light microscope. In our school, in the in the science lab, we have microscope. Those microscopes are called light microscopes. But these viruses, they are so small that you cannot see the viruses under those light microscope. To see the virus, you have to have electron microscope. So which are present in very, very highly equipped, modernized labs which are present. They are highly costly things. They do not have cellular structure like other microorganisms. This virus, they do not have any cellular structure. And that is the reason now we are all suffering. Like, because it does not have a cellular structure to identify their different characteristics, it becomes very difficult for the scientist. They cannot reproduce by themselves. They cannot respond to changes or use energy to grow. So how do they grow? Then you will ask me this. Then how are these viruses growing? They actually, outside, when they're in the air or when they're in the soil, wherever they are, they lie dormant like non-living things. But once they enter into the host cell, it is able to reproduce. Once it uses all the energy of the host cells for reproduction. And after the formation of thousands of viruses inside the host cell, what will they do? The host cell will burst and all these viruses will be released into your blood, and these viruses will now go and infect each and every cell in your body, and again in that cell they will start reproducing, and then they will take over that host cells, and again the cell will die, host cell will die, and the viruses will come out. In this way the whole body will get infected. So a large number of host cells die and then the person gets ill. Now this is what is happening nowadays also. The COVID virus, the same thing they are also doing. Once they are inside your body, when they go inside, that's why the doctors, they are continuously telling, don't put your hands in your mouth. Why? Unless you put your hands in your mouth, if the virus is present in your mouth, it has to get inside your body. Through your mouth, through your nose, through your eyes. That's why you are not supposed to, anytime, whatever virus is, it can enter in your body through your mouth, nose or eyes. So you should always keep your hands clean and never put your hands inside your mouth or nose or ears. Now this is all for today. Now I have also made an assignment for you. Once you have gone through this PPT, please do the assignment in your notebook, and same way which I told you before, once you come back to school, you will submit with a notebook. I will check it. Thank you.